kind of animal are you?
What?
Do you like attacking your own kind?
No,
Stay back!
At the Red River Institute, a group home for orphans with superpowers, a young woman named Mary dreams of becoming a hero. As a child, she discovered her ability to manipulate and weaponize blood, but accidentally killed her parents in the process, leading to a life of trauma and isolation. After years of sheltered loneliness, Mary is overjoyed when she is accepted to Godolkin University, the only college in the country made exclusively of superpowered people, frequently called supes. Arriving on the high-security campus, Mary meets her eccentric roommate, Emma Little Cricket Meyer, a supe with shrinking powers. Burning some time before orientation begins, the pair watch as the top-ranked student, Luke Goldenboy Riordan, has a quick sparring session at the stadium. When Mary then learns that she has been rejected from an important crime-fighting class, she meets with Professor Brink and his gender-shifting assistant, Jordan Lee. Despite her motivation to become one of the top-ranked students in school, Professor Brink insists that she won't fit in. Eager to prove her ability, Mary tries to help the campus security chase down a frantic student and receives help from her popular classmate, Andre. The next day, Luke meets with Professor Brink, who tells him that he has already secured a spot in the 7, but something seems amiss. Elsewhere on campus, Andre invites Mary to a party later that night, and although she is hesitant to accept, Emma convinces her to attend. Linking up with Andre, Mary meets Luke and his girlfriend Kate, who has mind control powers, and the group head to the roof of the 7 tower. As the rest of the group get the party started, Mary confides in Luke about the death of her parents, and he is sympathetic to her story, as he also has a brother who passed away. Afterward, at a nightclub, Andre accidentally injures a woman while showcasing his magnetism powers, but Mary saves her life, becoming a viral sensation in the process. The morning after, Luke is haunted by nightmarish visions of his deceased brother, Sam, who stands stranded in a forest begging for help. In response to the incident at the club, Brink threatens to expel Mary, but when she goes to his office to defend her reputation, she walks in as Luke uses his flame powers to incinerate the professor. Seemingly driven mad, Luke chases Mary and runs into Jordan and Andre, who try to help him calm down. However, distraught over a traumatic secret, Luke levitates into the sky and explodes, ending his own life in a shower of blood. In the wake of Goldenboy's death, the Dean of Godolkin University, Indira Shetty, rushes to control the story with Vought International CEO, Ashley Barrett. Most urgently, Ashley warns Indira that a secret project called The Woods cannot be discovered by authorities, otherwise they will face dire consequences. With Goldenboy out of the picture, Andre is promoted to the #1 spot on the student rankings, and Mary finds new fame as she enters the top 10. But Jordan is pushed further down the list. After meeting Godu's social media manager Jeff, Mary prepares for an upcoming talk show interview with Andre, but he is preoccupied with suspicions over Luke's death. Although Andre is eager to uncover the truth, Mary refuses to get involved any further. Later, Mary meets with Indira Shetty, who asks her why she wants to become a hero. Opening up a bit, Mary explains that she wants to reunite with her younger sister, Annabeth, whom she has been estranged from for years, and prove that she's not a bad person. After the chat, Indira heads down into a secret hospital under the school called The Woods, where she and her team perform inhumane experiments on restrained supes, including Luke's mentally disturbed brother Sam, who is actually still alive. At the same time, Andre and Kate team up to investigate, and after recovering a hidden phone, discover a video message from Luke that tells them about the Woods and his kidnapped brother. Motivated by the clue, Andre skips the big interview and breaks into Professor Brink's office instead. While searching through Brink's computer, he finds evidence confirming Sam's captivity. But his investigation is cut short by campus security. During the talk show interview, Mary sticks to the script and corroborates the false story of Golden Boy's death, earning favor with Vought executives while alienating Jordan and the others. Tailing campus security from Brink's office, Andre watches as they access a secret doorway to the woods, but he is caught in the act. Luckily, Kate shows up and uses her psychic powers to rescue Andre, but she overexerts herself and collapses into a seizure as Andre is powerless to help. After recovering in her room, Kate and Andre plan their next steps. While Andre insists on attempting to break Sam free, Kate pleads with him to stay safe, and surprisingly, the pair become intimate. At the same time, Mary returns to her dorm room and finds Emma shrunk to a dangerously small size. After Mary provides her with some snacks, Emma explains she shrinks by purging her food, and although she claims to be in control, it is clear that her superpowers are tied to an eating disorder. The next day, Indira invites Mary to a memorial gala for Professor Brink, while Andre, Emma, and Jordan are all ordered to attend by their high-profile parents. At the gala, Mary gets a hefty dose of the limelight with Indira, but the spirits of her peers are generally low. Pressured by her mother, Emma meets a Vought producer, Courtney Fortney, who wants her to star in an exploitative new reality show about her eating disorder. When Emma storms away, Andre takes notice and introduces himself, and he eventually convinces her to help with his investigation. Using her powers, Emma infiltrates the Woods facility, and after locating Sam in his cell, they begin to plot his escape. Meanwhile, at the gala, Andre confides in his father about the Woods, but he tells him to drop it, implying that he's aware of the experiments. Later on, Mary grows tired of being used as a fundraiser tool and gets some unexpected moral support from Kate and Jordan. When she tells them the truth about her parents, Kate shares a similar tale of tragedy and reveals that she caused her younger brother to run away when they were children, and he never returned. Back in the woods, security goes on high alert as Emma's intrusion is detected. When a guard comes to the cell to investigate, Emma is enraged by their violent treatment of Sam, and she decides to take action. Making a mess despite her tiny form, Emma gruesomely dispatches the guard just as backup arrives. Shortly after the incident in Sam's cell, Indira and her lead medical advisor, Dr. Edison Cardoza, assess the damage. With several guards lying dead in the hall and Sam missing, Indira searches for answers but only finds one of Emma's tiny shoes on the ground. While Andre, Jordan, Kate, and Mary look for Emma and discover her discarded GPS tracker nearby, Jordan's attention is affixed on the new student rankings, as Mary has risen to the number 2 spot. Elsewhere, Emma and Sam hide out at an abandoned drive-in movie theater, and when Sam suggests that they ask Luke for help, Emma breaks the bad news. As Sam grieves over his brother's death, Emma promises that she will never leave his side. Back on campus, a super observant reporter named Tech Knight launches an investigation into Godolkin University as part of his television program, The Whole Truth. Although Tech assures Indira that he intends to help her cover up the real reason behind Golden Boy's rampage, he remains a thorn in her side. Desperate to find Emma, Mary enlists the help of a deviant psychic classmate, Rufus. But when he tries to force himself on her, Mary fights back and escapes with the help of Jordan. After Tech Knight interviews several of Luke's friends, he interrogates Mary during a crime-fighting class and gets her to admit that Jordan was the real hero who fought off Golden Boy. When Indira scolds him for prodding a top-ranked student, Tech threatens to pin the entire incident on her instead. In response, Indira scrounges up some dirt on the reporter, blackmails him into leaving campus, and closing the investigation for good. At the drive-in theater, Sam and Emma start to make a meaningful connection, but Sam's schizophrenia starts to flare up. Overtaken by a hallucination of a children's television show, Sam believes that he must kill Dr. Cardoza to protect Emma from harm. Back at God U, Jordan thanks Mary for telling the truth, and surprisingly, the two begin to kiss. But Emma returns and tells them about Sam's plan for revenge. Rushing to Cardoza's home, Mary and the rest of the group try to intervene, but Sam fights back. Fortunately, Emma reveals a new side to her power and grows in size, restraining Sam for the moment. As Mary looks on, she experiences a time skip and wakes up in bed next to Jordan, with no memory of the night's events. In the morning, Mary and the rest of the group wake up after a raunchy house party and realize that they are all missing several days of memory. As Emma and Mary try their best to remember, Sam stumbles upon the party and attempts to jog their memory, but they don't recall anything about him or the woods. While the girls are cautious of Sam's outrageous claims, he promises to help them remember before running off. Reuniting outside and reviewing footage from the party, the group determines that Rufus might be responsible for their missing memories. After surviving the attack at his home, Dr. Cardoza tells Indira that he is close to perfecting a virus that can control the supes. But if he is permitted to experiment on Mary, it would speed up the process. However, Indira tells him that Mary is off limits for the moment, as she is backed by a mysterious benefactor. Meanwhile, Mary and Jordan awkwardly adjust to their new relationship dynamic, while Emma enjoys a surge in popularity. When Andre tracks down Rufus and demands answers, he finds himself suddenly transported off campus with his memories partially erased yet again. Elsewhere, Sam continues to evade the Woods security force and, overcome with hallucinations of being a puppet, kills a squad of soldiers as he continues to run. Back on campus, Emma starts to believe Sam's story when Mary finds a tracker buried in her neck. When Mary tries to warn Kate, it is revealed that she is betraying them and working for Indira, as Kate uses her powers to make Mary forget. Luckily, Jordan finds her immediately afterward and brings her back up to speed. Eager to get to the bottom of things, Emma returns to the drive-in theater and finds Sam, who tells her the truth about Kate. In addition to meddling with their minds, Sam also claims that Kate tried to make Luke forget about his existence over and over, resulting in the nightmarish visions. When Jordan, Mary, and Andre finally track Rufus to the party house, the truth comes to light. Confronted by the facts, Kate comes clean and restores Andre's memories, leaving him disgusted by her betrayal. After further experimentation, Dr. Cardoza finally sees success with his soup-exclusive virus, but Indira encourages him to continue experimenting with dosage strength. At the party house, Kate restores everyone's memories, and as Emma storms off to reunite with Sam, Mary and the others take a moment to straighten their thoughts. However, when Kate begins to have a seizure and they try to help her, the entire group is transported inside her mind. Thoroughly confused by their predicament, they receive some advice from Kate's childhood imaginary friend, Soldier Boy. According to him, Kate's mind is slowly deteriorating and they must escape before they become permanently trapped inside. While exploring her mind for an exit, the group learns more about Kate through her memories. Following her brother's disappearance, she was kept locked in her room for nearly a decade, but was eventually rescued by Indira, who then groomed her into a position of power at God U. After starting a relationship with Golden Boy, she helped Professor Brink and Indira as they performed experiments on him and Sam, wiping Luke's memory and convincing him that his brother was dead. However, Kate's powers weren't completely effective, and as memories returned to Luke in the form of nightmares, the torment started to affect his mind. As they continue to explore the mindscape, personal memories begin to bleed in, and Mary is forced to relive the death of her parents and make her peace with Annabeth. Fortunately, Mary's self-forgiveness allows them to break through to Kate, who finally wakes up to face the music. When Sam and Emma return to the house and find everyone awake, Sam immediately attacks Kate for her actions in the woods, but Emma convinces him to give her a second chance. Back in the woods, Dr. Cardoza informs Indira that the high-strength virus formula is too powerful, resulting in the death of one of their patients. However, Indira is surprisingly pleased by the outcome and asks Cardoza if he can make the virus contagious. After a bit more work, Dr. Cardoza manages to make the soup virus transmittable through contact with bodily fluids, but Indira encourages him to make it airborne. Trying to win back favor with her friends, Kate plans to ambush Indira at her home and force her to tell the world the truth, but Mary, Andre, and Jordan simply don't trust her. While Andre accompanies Kate to Indira's house, Mary and Jordan break into her office to look for clues. There, they discover documents relating to the crash of Transoceanic Flight 37, which claimed the lives of Indira's husband and daughter, with Homelander messing up the rescue and afterwards refusing to save the passengers. However, when Cardoza arrives and drops off a file detailing the virus, Mary and Jordan score a jackpot. In the city, Indira meets with Grace Mallory, the ex-deputy director of the CIA and notorious founder of the soup hunting group, The Boys. When Indira shares her plans for a viral attack on the superhuman community, Mallory calls it planned genocide and advises her to stop production immediately. Meanwhile, without anywhere else to go, Emma decides to hide Sam in her dorm room. However, it's not long before Sam gets wrapped up in the fun of college and leaves the dorm with Rufus and his friends. While Andre and Kate wait at Indira's house, they watch as Andre's father has an interview on the news. As a renowned former superhero and God U alumni, Andre's father is the planned moderator for an on-campus political town hall organized by vice presidential candidate Victoria Newman. However, during the interview, he begins to violently seize, and Andre rushes back to campus to help. Arriving just in the nick of time, Andre catches a ride to the hospital in the ambulance. Back on campus, Emma desperately searches for Sam, who instead of partying, has been dragged to Victoria Newman's town hall by Rufus. Outside, Mary and Jordan plan to expose Dean Shetty by sharing their findings with Victoria Newman. As tempers inside the town hall rage and the politician leaves for her own safety, Mary bumps into her backstage, and the pair find somewhere quiet to talk. During their conversation, Victoria encourages Mary to experiment with her powers, and in doing so, discovers that she can detect abnormalities in someone's blood. When Mary realizes that the politician is secretly a soup with the same powers as her, Victoria seems pleased and reveals that she has been following Mary's life since she arrived at Red River as a child. When Mary finally tells Victoria about the woods and Dr. Cardoza's virus, she advises Mary to focus on her future and steer clear of trouble with Vought. After Sam is reunited with the rest of the group, Kate tells them to come back to Indira's house, but Andre chooses to stay at the hospital with his father. When they arrive, Kate forces the dean to tell them the truth. According to Indira, the school was originally founded as a front for experimentation on superhuman students, and her work is just the latest in a long history of research. Although she intends to use the virus to eliminate all soups around the world, she is especially interested in killing Homelander, as he was responsible for the plane crash that killed her family. Dealing the final blow, Kate forces Indira to slit her own throat and restrains Mary from helping, letting the dean bleed to death on the floor. Elsewhere, Dr. Cardoza meets with Victoria Newman and hands over all of his virus samples. In return, Victoria coldly murders Cardoza with her powers before driving off with the virus in her possession. As everyone panics about how to handle Indira's death, Kate and Sam announce that they're going to free everyone in the woods. Despite letting them go, Mary, Jordan, and Emma decide that they must stop their friends before they get out of hand. At the hospital, Andre learns that his father has endured brain damage due to his use of superpowers, and the doctor advises both of them against using their powers. In an emotional conversation, Andre's father encourages him to stay under Vought's thumb and protect his family. Back on the God U campus, Ashley Barrett decides to create a public distraction by inducting one of the top students directly into the Seven. Meanwhile, Kate and Sam break into the woods and release all of the infected students, causing utter pandemonium. As the escaped patients rampage around the school and kill all non-soups, Jordan, Mary, and Emma arrive and try to minimize the damage. When Emma finds Sam in the performing arts building and tries to stop him, he rejects her, causing her to involuntarily shrink. Although Sam has some second thoughts and visions of Luke urge him to reconsider his actions, Sam doubles down and has Kate use her powers to make him feel no emotion. After Mary activates the school-wide lockdown system, Ashley Barrett starts to truly feel threatened and calls for a helicopter evacuation. However, when the escaped soups destroy the rotor blade, Andre arrives just in time, using his powers to prevent a complete crash. As Ashley and the rest of the academic board try to hide in the grounded helicopter, Andre faces off against Sam and manages to incapacitate him with a taser baton, but he stuns himself at the same time. Fortunately, Jordan and Mary successfully subdue Kate and protect the helicopter just as Homelander arrives. While Mary expects a thankful greeting, Homelander instead calls her a traitor and uses his powers to knock her out. In the days following the incident, Mary, Andre, and Emma are blamed for the massacre on campus, while Kate and Sam are propped up as heroes by Vought. Elsewhere, the 4 disgraced students wake up in a sterile hospital room with no doors, unsure of their future. Sometime later, Billy Butcher visits the now abandoned Woods facility and is revolted by the sight.
What a bunch of cunts.